Today I thought I would share with you my stretch routine. Years ago I had some problems with my back, and so I learned how to stretch. My problems with my back had to do with muscle tightness in my legs, and so if you are experiencing lower back pain, this may or may not help you, especially if it's muscle related. Oftentimes all you need to do is loosen up those muscles. So this is something that I've done for years that helps my back, and it just helps me overall feel more loose and better and avoid injury. So I'm going to share my routine with you, and it's about just under 15 minutes, and it's something you can do every single day, or you can just do it when you're starting to feel tight, and it should help at least make you feel a little bit better, get the blood flowing. Even when I'm sick, sometimes when I can't work out, I do this routine so that I can stay loose and get the blood flowing and get the oxygen to my muscles and my body, and it really helps me feel better. So each exercise we're going to hold for about 30 seconds, and then we'll move on to the next exercise as we go along. So I will start my timer and we will get going. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is lay back, bring one leg up and flex your foot and hold on to your leg. And you can hold here, you can hold here, you can grab your ankle, but don't grab your knee. And this leg can be straight, it can be bent, it doesn't matter which. And this leg, don't lock it out. You don't want to be like straight and tight. Just pull so that you feel stretched down through your hamstring. And then put your foot on your knee and pull in and flex this foot. It'll help your knee. And if you can go to this point and that's it, that's okay. You can push here, or you can grab behind this knee and push with your elbow on the outside of your leg. But again, don't hold on to the top of the knee. Can't see my timer. My eyes are getting bad. And then we're going to switch and do the exact same thing on our left leg, or the opposite leg of what you've just done. So flexing your foot and pull in just until you feel the stretch. You don't want to hold too hard. The whole purpose of stretching is to make you feel better, so don't go beyond your capacity, just to the point where it's stretching. You'll find as you do go along, your flexibility will increase as you stretch and as you loosen everything up. And we're going to put our foot on our knee again, and again you can leave it here, you can push here, or you can grab behind your leg. Keeping that foot flexed, that helps your knee. And then the next thing we're going to do is a rotation. And I'll show you one leg out and then rotate across the body either way. Pulling in. So put those down. So I'm going to take my right knee and I'm going to push it over. Go as far as you can. This is going to stretch down through your back, through your hip, and across your leg. And then if you can, lay this hand out. And don't forget to breathe through all these, because part of the purpose of stretching is to get the oxygen flowing through your body. And again, just go as far as you can go. And then rotate back. Switch legs. And this arm, I like it to be back. If you can keep your shoulder as close to the ground as you can keep it, but just kind of pull down. The next portion is not so much a stretch. It is a stretch, and it's actually one of my favorite ones, but some people find it a little bit more difficult. So what you're going to do is bring your arms over your head, and you're going to sit up and then touch your toes if you can. If you can't, that's okay. And if you need to push with your elbows, push up and just come as far as you can, or reach over and touch your toes. If your hamstrings are really tight, you may not be able to touch your toes, and that's okay. Come up and out. Okay, now we're going to transition to some sitting exercises. So bring one foot in and stretch over. Keep your back pretty flat. Stretch over, and you can put your hands on your thigh, on your calf, on your ankle, or if you have a lot of flexibility, you can hold your toe. And if you can grab your toe, you can kind of pull back on that and it'll stretch through your calf. But the main thing we're trying to stretch is the hamstring here. And then we're going to switch to our other foot. And you'll notice we're stretching every muscle group several times, especially in the legs. Back pain issue oftentimes has to do with your legs and your glutes and how you walk and your hip joints and hip flexors. And so you're going to want to stretch those out, especially if you sit a lot. Your hip flexors are going to be very tight, and those need to be stretched out. From here, we're going to transition into both legs out straight. And again, you're going to want to sit up tall and go as far as you can, whether it be here, your calves, your ankles, or your feet. And again, if you can grab your feet, pull back, but don't lock your legs like straight out. Leave a little, keep them loose, leave a little bend. And then from here, we're going to transfer into a straddle stretch. In just a second. So both legs out wide, as wide as you can get them, sitting up straight and lean forward. And you're trying to stretch here and a little bit of your hamstring. So just kind of lean a little bit and just wherever you feel that stretch. Keep your toes up. You don't want your toes to be rolling in. Keep them up or out as far as you can. Okay, and from here we're going to do a side stretch, so coming back up and leaning over. You can put this hand here, you can put this hand out here. Don't rest it on your knee. And the whole goal here is to stretch your lats and your side, and you will feel a little bit down through your hamstring and your inner thigh. And keep your head up, don't be like leaning down. If you need to, look up towards the ceiling to stretch out that side. And this one for me, switching sides, really helped my back, mostly with the twisting flexibility. That could cause some problems for my back. But this really helps. The twisting exercises really seem to loosen things up, along with the hamstring and the glute stretches. Okay, from here we're going to go into a butterfly sit. So as much as you can, pull your feet together. So pull your feet in. You're going to feel this stretch through your hip flexors, a little bit through your inner thighs, and stay sitting up fairly straight initially. Once you get down, you can kind of collapse in if you need to. I like to stay straight. It seems to stretch a little bit better. And then if you need to, you can push your knees down, and that increases the stretch. Kind of for me out here, but also through here. And from here, we're going to do a little bit more difficult one. It's a runner's lunge. So you're going to turn, putting this foot down, and turn and kind of roll up so you're straight. If this is too difficult, you could do even just a regular runner's lunge here. However, this one is going to stretch the outside of your hip flexor. And you can stay here, you can go lower. Keep this foot kind of flexed, that'll help your knee. Then switch sides, and I gotta let my hip pop there before I switch sides. And again, pull that foot up, foot flexed. And if you, like I said, if you sit a lot, this will stretch out your hips really well so that they're not so tight. And then relax into these. Don't be like really scrunched up because won't stretch as much. Okay, we're going to go into a quad stretch. So this is a traditional quad stretch, pulling one foot back as far as you can, even if it's here, wherever it is. Pull it back, and if you can, lean back, but you don't want to lay back because that's hard on your knee. So if you're not feeling a stretch here, you can bend your other knee, you can lean towards it, but it will increase the stretch here. And so don't lay all the way back. It's not good for your knee. Holding that, and we're going to switch. And then from here, we're going to do a twisting, a back twist kind of exercise after this one. Again, don't forget to breathe. because the whole point of stretching, one of the points of stretching is to get the oxygen to the muscles so that they can relax and so they can rejuvenate. Okay, so you're going to put one foot out, wrap this foot over, and then you're going to put your elbow or your forearm or whatever against your knee, pushing, and then twist backwards. And this hand can go back farther, it can be up here, wherever it needs to be, but you're going to feel a stretch down through your lower back. And again, this one will stretch down through your lats as well, which is really helpful, I think. My shoulders get tight too. And then we're going to switch. And then from here we're going to stretch the neck. So coming around, sit up tall and drop your head to one side. Now for me this is not much of a stretch, so you may want to pull down a little bit, and oftentimes people's necks are tight in different spots. So mine I have to tip down a little bit, and it's right past the side point, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. But I pull down gently. This hand can go down, it can go behind your back, but make sure your shoulder is pulling down. And then release that. And drop the head to the other side. Pulling down a little bit. And be careful with your neck, you don't want to pull it too hard, but you do, it's nice to stretch it. And then we're going to go into a shoulder stretch. Release that, roll your head around a little bit. Okay, arm across and pulling. You don't want to pull right on your elbow. You can hold here. I actually feel the stretch better here. But again, don't put that pressure on your elbow. And this should pull back through the back side of your shoulder joint. Then switch. Shoulders tend to get really tight as we get stressed. We tend to scrunch our shoulders when we get tired, when we get stressed out. There's a lot of pressure, and we tend to get problems with our shoulders and our neck in that regard because we're so tense. So we need to relax, let that go, and stretch that out. Okay, we're going to do a tricep stretch next. So hand up above our head, drop it down the back and pull, and you may be able to go to here. That may be fine. You may not be able to go very far, but don't end up like this. You want to be sitting up straight, your head up straight, your neck straight, and then just pull, if you can, just a little bit on your tricep. You may not have to pull it all, and you may feel the stretch just fine. Either way works. And then we're going to switch. And don't forget, you got to breathe through all this. Keep that oxygen flowing. Sit up straight, keep your abs in. Don't arch or roll your back. Even though you're stretching and relaxing, you're still actively working, so you need to still protect your back. Especially if back problems are the reason you're stretching. Okay, we're going to finish with a bicep stretch, and I'll switch the camera because we're going to have to do that on the wall. Okay, so the last stretch is a bicep stretch, and your biceps and your shoulders are very connected as far as pain and whatnot. So if your shoulder is hurting, your bicep probably needs to be stretched. So the last thing you do, this is a standing exercise. You're going to keep your hand on like the knife edge here, and you're going to push it against a wall or something and twist your body and push your shoulder forward. And you're just going to hold that for about 30 seconds. And this should stretch through your bicep as well as a little bit through your shoulder. No, I can't remember where I started on my clock. Okay, I'm going to switch and I'm going to push it against this other side of the wall. Stepping forward and twist. Again, twisting my shoulder forward. Keep your shoulders relaxed and feel, push. You can kind of adjust a little bit until you feel it going down your bicep. You want to stretch your biceps because it's connected into the rotator cuff joint and things, and it will help alleviate some of the strain on your rotator cuff as you go along. And now I can't see my clock, so hopefully we'll go about 30 seconds here. If not, at home, go 30 seconds. Until it feels good, I guess. Alright, so that is the end of my stretch routine. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you take time to stretch out. It really alleviates a lot of stress. It alleviates a lot of body aches and pains. And sometimes it can even help alleviate things like back problems and shoulder problems and different problems throughout your body. Your body is important. It's all you've got, so you need to take care of it. So I hope you take the time to take care of it today. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.